cap good stocks that are also going to be under pressure. So that's one fact that we should be talking about. You do have India planning to ease curbs on Chinese firms in government tenders. Anushi, in fact, is standing by with all of those details. Anushi, what are the details here and which are the stocks that are going to be in focus?
Right, Shreyanshi, so let's have a comprehensive view in terms of what's happening with all of these cap good companies. Yesterday's trade, if we see, we saw correction across the board. This includes BHEL seeing about 9% of correction, followed by L&T, Cummins, ABB India, GE Vernova, all of these T&D companies as well, which were in focus. So it's about a 4 to 9% of correction that we've seen in these counters. And this is after media reports suggested that India plans to scrap its 5-year-old restrictions that it had imposed for Chinese companies bidding in these government projects that we are looking at in terms of where the infrastructure sector is concerned. Do note that projects awarded in these Chinese firms have fell 21% or rather 27% from the 2021 levels that we are looking at. But why this move now? So firstly, in light of higher commercial ties and to revive some of that commercial ties with China and easing diplomatic and ease border tensions as well, the government is seeking to expedite this move, considering that there have been shortages of supplies, especially in the transmission and on these heavy infrastructure sectors that we are looking at. So these project delays have, impacted the capacity addition growth also. So to expedite that, we are looking at these moves coming on. But brokerages have now come out with impact on a lot of these Indian players and what could be the impact if this move does go through. Starting off with CLSA, it says that biggest risk lies with power gen companies like BHEL and expensively priced T&D powers. In fact, they have given a list as well. Firstly, solar module and cells company like Wari and Premier might see an impact. Chinese equipment players such as Dongfang and Herbine have been previously bidded with BHEL on all of these private Genco orders that we are seeing, as well as state Genco. So BHEL would likely see a big impact. L&T, the impact is expected to be on the minimal side, considering that they have a lot of exposure coming from Saudi Arabia and domestic is on in terms of domestic order. They mostly bid for NTPC orders, so that might not affect the company's operations too much. While Hitachi, GE Vernova, Siemens, CG Power might see an impact. Even Jeffries came out with a note wherein they see limited impact in terms of where the defense is concerned. But Afcons and BHEL are likely to see the highest impact. And TD, on contra view, they're saying that they should see limited impact given national security priority towards this transmission goods that we are looking at. Bernstein has put a lot of emphasis in terms of where L&T's impact is concerned, wherein they see minimal exposure for this particular area and see that shortages are mostly in thermal and high voltage transmission. So there would be some sort of relaxation here most likely. So equipment players would be likely impacted in this one. While on the other side, Power Grid and NTPC may be key beneficiaries, considering that there would be lower cost and these projects would be now expedited. So that is something that we should be watching out for. And lastly, IFL came out with a note in terms of clarification, wherein they are seeing that Chinese player TVA might be allowed to participate in these Power Grid tenders starting from April to May onwards, but overall see a limited impact in terms of a lot of these players are concerned. So, what pops out at the top is a lot of these T&D companies and BHEL, which may see the highest impact. So that's on capital goods space that we are watching out for.
Well, absolutely, Anushi, and seems to be a continuation of the story that we saw yesterday as well with BHEL down, about 9%. That's something that we saw coming in. Thank you so much for joining us with that update there. So any of those companies down anywhere between 3 to 9%, that's the kind of move that you saw coming in. Of course, leading losses, you did have BHEL, but you did also have Hitachi Energy that was also down about 6%. That's Anushi telling you what to keep in mind when it comes to the entire cap goods pack. But let's